Hey guys, my name is Kaushik and welcome back to Redcode. In this video, we are going to learn about the API testing using Playwright. Okay, so Playwright got a new version called 1.16, and out of the box, we have the new features called API testing. We are going to take a look on that in detail. Okay, so I'm going to take a use case and I'm going to request like create, get, update, and the delete. Okay, so in this video, I will tell you like how to use all the functions of post, put, delete, and the get. Apart from that, also we'll say like how to store the data in the class level variable and how to pass it to the next request. Okay, so this video might be little long, but I will recommend you to watch fully so that you will get the benefit out of this one. Okay, and for the demo purpose, I'm going to use the service now. If you do not know about the service now, you can check out this page, this video, where I have dedicated video like how to use the service now for web automations. Like you can practice Selenium, Protector, Playwright, or whatever you know. And apart from that, of course, we can use the same application to test the API as well. So in this video, I'm going to take service now. Okay, so first of all, you have to create an instance in the sense like there will be a particular work environment for you. Okay, so for that, you can watch this video, you will be able to know about that. All the links will be in the description, so kindly check that. Okay, and also the source code. Now, if I go to the ServiceNow application to my particular instance, I can just log in with the username and the password. Okay, and we are going to take a scenario. So within the ServiceNow, basically it's like e-ticketing management system. Like in organization, if any of you need some software, or if your hardware is not working, then of course you have to raise a ticket and they will admin team will get contact and resolve the issues, right? So this is the application for that. Okay, so here we have a category called incident. Basically incident is like kind of we can register something. So if you go to this create new, you can see like here I can say like what is the category, hardware, software, like that, and I can give my description like what is exactly problem. Okay, so I will show you that more in detail. Okay, and this application supports basic authentication, so I'm going to use that here. Okay, so here already I have two requests in the postman. Okay, so one is the get all. So if I remove all the parents and if I send the request, you can see like I'm going to get a lot of details, right? So whatever the incident are there, you can see there. Okay, um, and of course I already have the headers here, so I'll tell you all those stuff. Okay, and I believe that already you have a basic knowledge of API testing, so I'm not going to repeat like what is API testing, why we have to do that, all those stuff. Okay, but in the description I will attach a video link. I think that is the best described video about API testing and why we need that, so I will attach that one. Okay, now let's see how to do that same with the help of Playwright, and trust me, it's going to be very easy. Okay, so first thing first, go to your package.json and update the version to 1.16.1, both your test and the Playwright. Okay, and apart from that, also in the new version we have something like HTML report, so I have added that in the npm script as a report. So npx Playwright test dash dash report equal to HTML, that is going to open a, that is going to generate a HTML report based on the test JSON file. So whenever if you go to your config file, so already we discussed all this stuff in detail. Like if you go to the config file, you can see like here we are using the reporter as Allure, and apart from that we also will get some JSON file, the dot in the console, right? So here we have this test result.json, right? So based on this, Playwright now can generate its own HTML report, which is not the Allure, but the way both work is mostly same only. Okay, so here that is the command to generate the report, and this command is basically to open the report. Okay, so in Allure we say like Allure serve, here we have to say like show report. Okay, so I have combined both with the help of a double ampersand. Okay, that's it for the package.json. That is the only thing you have to do. Okay, now let's go to our config file, and here no changes as of now, it's basically the same whatever we have, only the test match has been changed. Okay, now let's go to our test. So within the API test folder, I have created a file called service-now.test.ts. Okay, and within that, of course, we are going to do the most frequent calls, so like create, get, update, and the delete. Okay, so first let's see how to create an incident. So let's go to the web first. So here if you go to the create new within the incident, here you can see like this number is generated by the system, so it's going to be default number for us, and here we have a mandatory field called caller, and the short description. But in the API level, this caller is not a mandatory one, but short description is, of course. Okay, so let's say that I'm going to go to the network and I'm going to say like Wi-Fi router not working, something like that. Okay, I can just simply give some short description. Okay, and I'm going to click on the submit. Before that, I'll just copy this guy and I'll click on submit. Okay, now incident is created. Basically, we have created a ticket. Okay, now I can go and search that, and then you can see like we are going to get this, right? So we have created and also we have done the retrieve. Now, of course, I can do the same in Postman also. So let me show you one more time. So here I have a create an incident and I'm going to pass the short description like hello buddy. I'll change this to like hello man, and category is going to be hardware. Okay, and if I click on the send, you can see that it's going to give us some incident number which is like populated auto generated, and apart from that also we'll get something like sys id which is like primary key in ServiceNow. Okay, incident number, right? So this number is not your this can be also duplicate. This is not your primary key in ServiceNow. In ServiceNow the system underscore id is the primary key. Okay, and here we have passed like short description, right? So if I go and search that, you can see like hello man, like whatever we have passed, this is there. Of course, you know, I know, so not a big issue. And of course we have to give the headers, not the headers, the authorization. In my case I'm going to use the basic authentication with username and password. Okay, so let's go and do the test with the playwright. Okay, so I'm going to bring up my test block here, and I don't need the page because page is for a web automation, web browser based automation. We are going to handle the request, that is API, right? So here I can say like request. And by the way, this is new feature, so make sure you have updated your npm or else it might not work. Okay, and here I'm going to say like create, okay, create an incident. Okay, now here I'm going to say await and then followed by request dot post. So create means of course the post, and here we have to give the base url. So base url is nothing but like this one, right? So this is my base url, and whatever we give like the parameters or other things, so it's going to be the next, right? So this is going to be base. Like here what we usually do in Postman is like we set a variable in the collections level and we use that across all our files, right? Request file. So I'm going to do the same but in a different way. In the playwright config file, here I can say that base url and then I can give this. Okay, I'm just going to simply copy this guy and paste over here. And by the way, how do I know all this, and how do I know all this, like what is mandatory, what is not means? Of course you can read the documentation. So if you're going to, if you have your office application, of course you can try, you know about that. But if you're someone who is learning and want to explore more on this, I will tell you how to do that. Okay, so let me open this in a new tab, and in the search you can just go and search for like REST API Explorer. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so within the system web services we have REST API Explorer. So if you go into that, you can see the documentation here. Okay, so here we are dealing with the incident, right? So here I have to select the table name as incident. There are a lot of things in ServiceNow, but to make it very simple, I'm going to use the incident here. Okay, and then you can just read this description, you'll able to understand. And here itself we can pass like for example, this is retrieve, we are doing some get, right? So if I go and hit uh, send key, and you can see like we are getting the status as 200. We got all the informations like whatever we have done here, right? So in our case this is our incident number, right? Now let's go and search here. Unfortunately it's not coming. It is coming, it will be there, but I think it will be somewhere hidden. Okay, so the number is 35 actually. Yeah, anyways, not a big issue, I will show you in the collections. Okay, so let's go, and here this is our base url. Okay, now I can access the base url from here itself. Okay, and then I can use my backticks, and then I can select this is my base URL. Okay, so I'm going to create a request. So to create, in the sense, of course, we have to pass the body, right? So what can I do is I can simply give here, and within the object I can say like data, which is passing your body. Okay, and here I'm going to pass my body. I'm going to copy that from my postman. So here you can select I'm passing a JSON, right? So I'm going to copy that and paste over here. Okay, now this guy is going to return me, so I can select cost console response. So whatever the response is going to give me, I'm going to save that here. Okay, and I'm using underscore. Just recently I learned that in if you want to make something like more private variable, you can use the underscore. I think that's what JavaScript. In TypeScript we have this hash then followed by the variable name, but yeah, this looks cool actually. So I'm going to use that. Okay, not necessary, just I learned something, so just sharing with you. Okay, and yeah, now once we create a incident, when we send the request, of course we have to do some asset verification. Without verification there is no test, right? So here I can expect the post, the response dot status to be uh, 201, right? So when we create, of course we will get the 201. Let me confirm here. So here you can select this get actually, but yeah, if you go to the postman, here you can select 201 and the message is like created, correct? And also I can also say like okay, that means there is no any issue here. So response dot okay and dot to be truthy. So basically we are looking for the true value, truthy in the sense it's like to be true. Okay, and yeah, but if I pass this, will it work? Definitely it will not work because we don't have the header. The authorization is not there, but just let me show you. Okay, so I'm going to bring up my terminal and I'm going to say npm test. Already the file name is there in my config file, so I can say directly npm test and that's going to run my test. But here you can see like there is no browser because we are using only the request. If you pass the page as a parameter here, then of course the browser will be visible. Okay, and here you can see like 401, which means unauthorization, I think. Yeah, okay, so we are going to do the authorization now. Of course I can give here itself, I can pass my headers and I can give the authorization here itself, but this authorization is going to be same for all the rest of my test cases. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply make that in the config in the parent level. Okay, so you can go to your config file and then followed by you can bring up this extra http headers actually. So here I can select extra HTTP headers and then followed by I have to give my authorization. Okay, so that's going to be key and value, very simple. So here I will say like authorization, and of course I'm going to use the basic authorization. Basic in the sense we have to give the username and password, but we cannot pass username and password directly, we have to encode that. Okay, so to do the encode you can just Google search like encode base64, go to the first link, and here you have to give your admin, that is your username, and colon followed by the password that I'm going to copy from my postman. Okay, and go down and click on this encode. That will basically give you some kind of hex value. You can just copy that and here you can pass it. Okay, basic is mandatory, like we are stating that it's a basic with this username and password, that is some kind of hex value I believe. Okay, now let's go to the request and I'm going to run the same test again, and this time of course we can see that it's going to be create with the 201. Okay, now yeah, so here we can get the password. Also if you want to print the response body, right? So when right like whenever we create something, we know that we are going to get an incident number and the sys id as well, right? So I'm going to print that. So here I'm going to console log and I'm going to print the whole response actually. Let us see. Okay, so here I'll say like await response dot json. So I know that this is going to return me a json, so I'm using the json function here, and yeah, let's run this and see. Yeah, so here you can see like we got this, and as I said like we'll get a sys id, this is this one, and then we have this incident number, which is this one 38, right? Let's go and check that whether it's created in the ui or not. So I'm going to search based on the incident id, and here you can select hello man, that we passed here as our body. Okay, now I'm going to get to the request. Okay, so if I pass get So if you go to the postman and here you can select get all incident, uh, that will basically return each and every data whatever we have in our website, right? But I don't want to do that. I want to get specific data. So here I'm going to say like task effective number, and here I'm going to give the number that we created now. And if I click on the send, you can see that I'm going to get only the data which is from there. Okay, and of course it's giving me a lot of params. I don't want that. I want this short description only. And then if I click on the send, you can see like we are getting only particular that. Okay, and yeah, that's very cool. And here also we have like something like category, so let's give that. So here I'm going to give comma and category and send, and you can see like whatever the category we have, we got this. Okay, now this is fine. Let's see how to use this with the help of Playwright. So I'm going to create one more test body here. So here I'm going to say test, and then followed by get an incident, and here it's going to be async, and this guy should be request. Okay, now let's say that const underscore response equals await, and then followed by request dot get, and here we are going to pass the URL, right? So let's go and grab the base URL, and here if I directly say base URL, actually it will not work because it might return a string or undefined. So what we are going to do is we are going to write a if condition, like if this is not uh, undefined, then we can pass it. But instead of that, I can simply mark this within the string interpolation. So if this value is not undefined, then it will be taken. Okay, so that is the reason I have given the string interpolation here. Okay, and yeah, let's directly print this one, right? So of course we know that we'll get a lot of things actually, so let's try to get that. Okay, so await, and I'm going to print the response, and I'm going to run this alone, so I will mark this like dot only, and let's go and run this. Let's see. Sorry, I have printed the response, but I have to print the JSON so that I can see all the detail, right? It's, yeah, we got something, but that will be promises, so we have to resolve that. Let's see. Okay, so here you can see like we are getting a lot of things, but I don't want that. I want only that particular things, right? So basically we have to add the params, right? So here I will say like params, and then I can give the body like the JSON body, like whatever the params I want. So I'm just going to copy it from here. So I'll just copy this like here. Not need a double quote, so you can give directly like this. Yeah, that's going to be this guy. So I'm going to copy this and paste over here, and the comma, and then followed by sys param failed, and then I'm going to give this guys. Okay, and let's run this. So this time we can get only the details from the number 38. Okay, so whatever we saw on the postman, that should be exactly here. Okay, so yeah, that's really good, right? Now this incident number, right? So we are getting like we are passing ourselves, but whatever I have created from there, I want to pass it. Let's see how to do that. Okay, so here what we'll do, we know that we are getting everything from the JSON, right? From the JSON we are able to get it. So what can I do is I can simply create variables here. Let's say that let that's going to be my number, and that's going to be of type number actually. And here I can say like underscore number equal to response dot JSON dot, not this actually. We have to store that first. Okay, so we'll just say like const response equal to underscore response dot JSON. So we will grab the entire JSON, and from the JSON what we can do is like from the JSON response we can say like okay, here I have to add the await. So if you go here, you can see like this is basically within the result, and then if I show you here, probably you can understand that better. Yeah, let me remove all this guys and let me click on the send. So here you can select with result is like basic the parent level array, and within that we have something like sys id and then followed by the number. Okay, so we are going to make use of that. So here you can see like where is that? Yeah, so this is like task effective number, right? So I'm going to copy that, and here I'm going to paste it over here. Okay, so that means from the result, yeah, I have to say the result as well, right? So result. So from the response, we are taking this guy called result, and from here we are taking that particular number which will be stored here. Okay, and then I can just simply remove this and I can say like number. Okay, so whatever we are going to create, for example, let's say that I have a keyboard issue. Okay, so I have a keyboard issue, and that's going to be of hardware category, so I'm going to run that first. Okay, so I will create an incident with the keyboard issue, and then I will just pass that number, so whatever number we have get, right? So we are going to get based on the dynamic. So here we'll create something based on the response body data, we'll use that. Okay, now yeah, so I can add one more expect here. So expect response dot status. So what is that? Status is going to be 200, right? So for get it should be 200. Yeah, okay, let's go and run this. Hopefully it should work. Okay, so 2 and 2 passed, right? And it's fine. Right now let's say that we want to verify this, right? So we are expecting a body, so we have to verify it, right? So what can I say? I can say like expect, and then I can say like await response dot json. I believe you guys are able to understand what I'm trying to do here. I know it's a long video, but trust me, it's worth it. Okay, and here I'm going to say like to match object. Okay, so because you can see the output, right? So it's basically like object, so we have to do the matching here, right? So basically we are trying to do the asset. Okay, so how it's going to be like this only. So I'm just going to copy and paste just to save your time. Okay, so here you can select result and something something something. Okay, let's change this short description. So I'm going to make that as a variable here. So const short description, something like that, equal to let's say that record MS Office 365. Okay, and here we'll just pass this like short description and comma, and here also we'll pass this, not here actually, that should be here, right? Yeah, we have to verify the output. Okay, now let's go and run this. Let's see. It's actually easy, very easy. If you compare with rest assured, mostly same only, right? So rest assured also very static functions, there is nothing to learn in that, just everything is static function, you call it, call it, call it, that's it, right? Same thing here also. Okay, so here you can see like we got the exact result, and this is basically passed. So here we can see, right? Okay, now okay, we'll come back to the reporter later on. Let's see some other thing. Okay, now here we are using the JSON, which is particular, which is absolutely fine. But what if there is different output, right? So some may give like a HTML, XML, text file, right? So let's see how to grab those. Okay, so this is fine. Okay, let's me add a comment. So output as XML. By default, service now supports both JSON and the XML, so I'm going to make use of that. Okay, so here I'm going to log that. So console.log await response dot body to string. Yeah, so this is how we have to get the XML body, but for that of course we have to set the header, right? So here I'm going to say like header. So default one is JSON, but of course we can change that in the headers. So here I'm going to say like accept as a string here, and then I can select application slash XML. Okay, I'm going to run this alone. So let's go and make it only, and let's go and test it. So this time we can see the XML format, and to get the XML, of course, we have to use the body, and we are going to convert that into a string. And unfortunately, here we have some issue. Let's see what was that. Yeah, and so here we are, you can see that we are getting an error because we are trying to get the JSON, but the body type is not the JSON. The output is not the JSON, so that is the reason. Okay, so I'm going to comment this as of now, just to show you the XML. Then probably I can uncomment that. Okay. It's basically depends on your application how it's going to be, right? So here you can see like we are getting the XML response. So here you can select XML. Yeah, JSON is pretty much readable comparing to XML, I think. Okay, so I'm going to uncomment this and comment this line for your future reference. Okay, so far we have learned like how to create an incident, that is post, and also get. Okay, so similarly, of course, we can do the update. So let me show you that very quickly. I'm just going to copy this guy, and here I'm going to change this to put, and then let's go to the documentation. Actually, I forgot what we have to do. So if you go to this, and here we have something called modify record, that is basically your put, and here we have to pass the table name and then followed by the sys id, right? So let's say that we are going to create this one, right? So we are going to make use of the same, and let's store that here. Okay, so I'm going to say let underscore sys underscore id equal to, that's going to be string actually. So let me store that, and here I can just repeat this, and that's going to be sys underscore id. Okay, not double underscore. Yeah, so here we'll get the sys id. Basically that's the primary key I have already said, and based on that we have to do the what we have to do the update. Okay, so after the base url I'm going to give slash, and then followed by again the string interpolation, and here I'm going to give the sys id. Okay, and I'm going to change not this number, so let me remove this. Probably we can, okay, that should not be params, actually that should be body, right? So we'll use the data, and then I will update the description. So here what we are doing, here we are giving the short description as required ms office, right? So here I will modify the data as, let me copy this one, not this one, this one, right? So we'll copy this data just over here. Yeah, so we'll change the description to something like very boring tutorial, something like that. And let's change the category to software. Okay, and rest of the things it's going to be mostly same. So when we do the modification, so what is the expected output? Not sure. So what we'll get for update? Okay, let's test in this one. So I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to make it as put. And here I think we got an sys id. Where is that? Yeah, this is the one, sys id. You can copy that. And this is going to be my put, and here I can say this one, and within the body I can just say it like hello man one. And if I hit send, you can see that the status is basically okay actually. Okay, so here I can just simply, I can verify that. Also I can say like expect response dot okay to be truthy. Okay, and here we'll get some body. Let's not worry about this, it's fine as of now. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. Okay, so this is basically my put. Okay, so here I will say like put an incident. Basically it's a modify or update, we can say. Yeah, okay, this is fine. So I'm going to skip this. So test dot, can I use skip? Yeah, I can use. Okay, so this will be skip. Only we'll run this, like we'll create an incident, and based on that incident we are going to update it as well. Okay, so let's bring up our terminal and let's run this. I believe my camera is on and it's working fine. Sometimes it goes blank. Actually, previously I created a video for like half an hour and it didn't work actually. Okay. So I'm recording one more time actually. Okay, and here we don't want this. We'll change this to JSON. Okay, and by the way, if you want to set it like accept, or if you have like version something, you can of course do everything within this extra HTTP headers. So here itself we can pass like this one. Okay, and one passed. Why one passed? Oh, sorry, I have used only, so that one is passed. Okay, let me run one more time. So we'll do the update. We'll create first and then we'll do the update. Okay, so one skipped, that is this one get is skipped and two passed. Okay, now yeah, this is fine. Let's go and search for this. Okay, so here we'll get something like, you can see very boring tutorial, which is the updated one. Okay, yeah, fine. Okay, so we are able to do that. Lastly, we'll do the delete, and that's going to be very simple. I'm going to copy this guy and I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to say like delete an incident, and here also we have to pass the sysid, and this is going to be my delete. And once we do the delete, no optional parameters required here, so I can just remove or I can leave it as blank. And once we delete, what will the output? It will be 204, right? So 204 is basically deleted. Okay, so I'm going to run each and everything. So let me remove this skip. So I'm going to run everything. Okay, now to run this everything, of course, we want to see the reporter as well, right? So we want to see the reporter. So what I'll do, say I'll say like npm run report. So that will execute my test and then it will give me the report, because that is how we have configured in the package.json. Okay, let's see that. So running 2 of 4, 3 of 4, and 4 of 1 failed. Oh, nice. Okay, so let's see the reporter what went wrong. So here you can select serving HTML reporter. So delete is actually failed. Why? um it says only failed, but we are not able to see the exact thing why it got failed. Here await response.json. Okay, I think the delete is not going to return us. It should return. Let's go and check one more time. Yeah, return is a response only, so we are getting the response and we are trying to print that here. So what's wrong here? So base URL and then followed by sys ID. So sys ID, it's going to be same, only that we are fetching from here itself. So what's wrong here? So here you can see sys ID of B7, that is also here. So sys ID is correct only. I'm not able to find what is the reason. And it will just run like your Allure report. So you have to control C to stop it. Okay. So let's go and check here. Okay. Basically correct only. Are you guys able to see anything? Even if you see, you cannot say to me. So I'm going to create a delete. Let's duplicate this, and here I'm going to use the delete. And then this is the incident actually. Let's give the send. Let's see. So 204 no content, and that is actually 204 correct only, but this response is not, because actually it's not giving us any response here in service now. That is the reason, I think. Okay, so I'm going to comment this and I'm going to run this one more time. Sorry for that. Basically service now, for the delete, it's not giving us. Yeah, it depends on the application. So we can do the delete from the post as well, right? And there we'll get the details. So here we are not getting any response. Okay, so here you can see the reporter. So basically it's like a 4 test fast, and you can see all the detail. Okay, it doesn't have anything like the screenshot, of course there should not be. But if you are going to like, this is our standard output, so we'll get everything. And I think there should be pretty print. Here you can see like a lot of junk characters, but they have missed it, I think. Which is fine, of course. Yeah, so we have a very decent report, so you can see like what is passed, what is failed. And you can combine this with your web automation as well. So for example, like here we are doing the create, right? So we are creating the API based on the API, so we can get the sys ID or we can get the number and we can write our actual test. So I'll just show you something like test. So here I'm getting the page, right? So of course I can say like page dot, I can combine that actually. So here I can say like wait, page dot request, that is also fine. Okay, so page dot request dot post delete, whatever you want, you can do it from here itself directly. Okay, so that he see this Playwright API testing, and I think this is going to be really good stuff for us. Okay, let's see the updated version. So we got few update in the version 1.16. So first one, the major change is the API testing, and then we have like we can intercept the response, and we have this new reporter that we already discussed. And here in the reporter for the web automation, you can actually see the screenshot. If there is any mismatch, the what was that, we learned something, right? The verification of visual comparison. Okay, we can see the visual comparison, and of course we'll get the actual difference, all the images and the traces as well. Okay, so reporter is really good now, but still the same issue. Even Allure report is really good, but we cannot share it directly, right? So that is the problem here. Also same problem, but I already have given a solution, so probably you can try that. Okay, and in the library we have a new update called wait for. Okay, so the problem earlier was like, in element handle we can wait for an element, right? But that is not possible with the locator, unfortunately. Now, I mean, yeah, fortunately now we have this wait for. Okay, and then of course we have support for the Docker, and there is some update in the trace viewer and new browsers. Okay, so yeah, that's it pretty much for this video. I know it's a really long video. I don't like to do long videos, but instead of creating multiple videos, everything in a single video is fine. Because if you know about the API testing, it's going to be really easy. Even if you can watch this in 2x, that will be very fine. Okay, so yeah, that's it from my side. Thanks for watching, and if you like the video, kindly share, and you know what to do. Tada, bye bye, take care.